Alrighty, so as I am gaining traction here on YouTube, which is very nerve wracking and exciting at the same time, I have been practicing doing YouTube videos for a actually very long time. And so it is exciting. My nervous system is ready for it. And it is also nerve wracking. So I just want to begin with saying I deeply appreciate all the new subscribers, all the commenters. It is actually hysterical that this series that is taking off is about religion, feathering out politics and religion, but certainly religion and morality and ethics. I come from a long line of educational teachers and preachers within different religions. So it is just kind of full circle, hysterical bloodline lineage thing going on here. I find myself laughing about my grandmother. She was very deep into the Catholic religion. I grew up in a private Catholic school, so I took it extremely seriously for the first over decade of my life, and here I am. So, anyways, I do want to ground this conversation, especially for those of you who found this channel through the last couple of videos. My name is Heather, and this channel is Underwater Panther. The work I do here sits at the intersection of astro-psychology, moral cognition, shadow integration, and cultural power dynamics. So I love architecture. I love building architecture, as well as psychological architecture. It is certainly my jam. So I run several different long form series. I'm trying to this light behind me. I got new lights and this light under the hat is a little bright. I apologize. I'm going to fix it after doing the videos tonight. So I run several long form series examining how different minds process values, identity, authority, relationships, and meaning, both individually and collectively. So I am an Aquarian INTJ mind. I care very much so about individuals and the collective. So I've been working on the individual level through astro-psychology for about a decade now. I've written over 30 books on that topic, and now I am leaning into the collective more. So, all right, so I also want to be very clear about what this is not. This is not a political channel in the conventional sense. I actually cannot stand politics. I'm very spiritual. So, this is not commentary meant to attack one side, defend another, or recruit anyone into an ideology. What I'm interested in is how the human mind functions under pressure, especially when belief, identity, and morality become entangled. What you're about to hear is not an argument, it is an examination. And it builds directly on the last two conversations. In the first video, we looked at what happens when belief replaces thinking and how moral judgment begins to collapse when certainty feels safer than cognition. In the second, we went deeper into shadow, how unintegrated fear, denial, and projection take over when institutions lose moral authority, and why societies split reality into good and evil when complexity becomes intolerable. This third conversation moves underneath both of those layers, because beneath belief and shadow is something even more fundamental. Now I'm actually listening to my own voice back as well as music to balance that out. As a content creator, you eventually have to get used to your own voice. It's something that I find hysterical behind the scenes. So, this video is called Moral Cognition: Why Different Minds Experience Truth Differently. If belief replacing thinking is the surface level crisis, and shadow replacing integration is the deeper fracture, then underneath both is something even more foundational: moral cognition. Now, what people believe, not what people believe, but how they arrive at belief in the first place. Most moral conflict today is not happening because people disagree on facts, believe it or not. It's happening because different minds process meaning, threat, values, and responsibility through entirely different cognitive pathways, and then mistake those pathways for universal truth. In other words, people aren't just arguing about conclusions. They're operating from different internal architectures. Now, this is something that I've been studying for the last decade. And I do want to give credit to C.S. Joseph. I have been studying him for 7 years now, and he really breaks down the personality types in depth. It is absolutely incredible. I wish I had his mind. It has taken me longer to curate curate all that information, but it is extremely important to realize that we all have different personality types, different lenses through which we see, regardless of upbringing, environment, etc. So I'm going to take a quick coffee break. I just wanted to throw that credit out there. All right, so moral cognition refers to how a mind organizes values, interprets right and wrong, and decides what matters most when priorities collide. Some minds prioritize harm reduction, others prioritize loyalty, others coherence, order, autonomy, meaning, or relational stability. None of those are inherently wrong, but they are fundamentally different lenses. And when people do not realize they're using a lens, they confuse it for reality itself. This is why moral debates feel impossible. One person experiences truth as something felt, another experiences it as something structured, another as something relational, another as something symbolic or narrative driven. When those experiences collide, each side assumes the other is lying, immoral, irrational, or dangerous, not because they are, but because they cannot experience truth the same way. This is where the distinction between map and territory becomes critical. The map is the cognitive framework, the way a mind organizes meaning. The territory is lived reality itself. Problems arise when people defend their internal map as if reality itself is under attack. At that point, disagreement doesn't feel intellectual, it feels existential. Different moral cognitive styles respond to threat differently. Some minds become more rigid under stress, seeking rules, structure, and certainty. Others become more exploratory, adaptive, and questioning. Some double down on collective identity. Others retreat into individual sovereignty. These are not moral failures, they are nervous system strategies shaped by cognition, temperament, and experience. But when societies don't understand these differences, they fracture. A mind that experiences morality as internal conscience with recoil at external enforcement, a mind that experiences morality as shared order when will feel unsafe without structure. A mind that experiences morality as empathy will prioritize suffering above systems. A mind that experiences morality as meaning will tolerate pain if it serves a larger narrative. Each believes they are being ethical. Each believes the other is irresponsible. This is why debates go nowhere. Truth is never accessed directly. It is filtered through perception, cognition, emotion, memory, and identity. This doesn't mean truth is fake. It means access to truth is mediated. Ignoring that mediation doesn't make us rational, it makes us blind. When cultures fail to understand moral cognition, they default to domination. Whoever has numbers, institutions, or cultural power declares their moral framework as reality. Everyone else is expected to conform. That doesn't create harmony, it creates resentment, shadow, and eventual backlash. Real ethical systems don't demand sameness, they demand translation. Translation means recognizing that different minds need different entry points into shared reality. It means understanding that disagreement does not automatically imply bad faith. It means holding complexity without collapsing into relativism or authoritarianism. This is where responsibility returns. Responsibility is not obedience, it's not belief, it's not alignment. Responsibility is the capacity to recognize your own lens and still act with awareness of its limits. A morally mature culture doesn't ask who is right, it asks what are we missing. This is the difference between moral agency and moral outsourcing. When morality is outsourced to ideology, identity, or authority, people stop thinking ethically and start defending positions. When moral agency is reclaimed, accountability returns, not just for outcomes, but for interpretation itself. And that is the work ahead. Because until we understand that truth feels different to different minds, not because truth is arbitrary, but because cognition is real, we will keep mistaking difference for danger, certainty for virtue, and belief for wisdom. So, in the next phase of the series, we'll move from cognition into integration. How individuals and cultures can hold multiple moral frameworks without fragmenting, and how sovereignty replaces polarization when discernment replaces sameness. This isn't about agreement, it's about capacity. And capacity is the real measure of ethical maturity. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And I will probably be doing about 10 videos in this series. So I will be continuously feathering out this topic. So definitely check out the next video. Feel free to comment your thoughts and feelings. And I will see you in the next video.